Hi, hello, happy Sabbath and Shabbat Shalom. This week should be a little short recording because of the fact I won't spend a lot of time yammering about the future. But I did want to show you the progress of the little spudlets popping up out of their little container. Again, these are regrown potato babies that come from another potato that struggled to live for a while, and it made them, so we'll see how long they live, since they will not presently be under a walnut tree. They'll be in a greenhouse, so hopefully they'll survive. My larger grapefruit tree is growing again, which is always encouraging. Some of my avocado trees appear to be dying, which is never encouraging. Although some of my avocado trees are still alive over here, that's a little encouraging. Mom's new house plants are apparently doing okay. I accidentally knocked a pot off and broke it last week. That's not good. But overall, it's still cleaner and prettier in here than it was. Now, the big baby over here looks really bad, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looks. I let it dry out, and I may have let it dry out too much, but I've re-watered it since then, so hopefully it'll come back, and soon, hopefully it'll be outside, where it can grow and flourish like it should. Other than that, of course, the other babies over here are generally doing decently, and I almost knocked the lid closed, which would have turned the thing off. Oh, how that got out of there, I don't know. That's to discourage them from crawling out. And here's Raindrop and Snowflake. Here's your Raindrop. And Rutabaga and Rototiller are not interested at all. Jelly Dell, they're the babies are like wanting to feed. And then over here, everybody's hurling around. It's Waffle Iron and Fuzzy and Wuzzy, and then Mercury right here, and all the others. And Goldilocks and Dinner. And let's see if we can see Mr. Snookum. There's Mr. Snookums over here. Yes, Mr. Snookums, you doing alright? Yeah. And there's Chestnut. So everybody's mostly here and looking to be alright. Now on to what has happened this week. Again, this was a very productive week, oddly enough. I tended to have pretty good success. My health was better than it has been, so I'm not doing as terrible this week as I had been doing in previous months, where I was bleeding and doing really bad. So, getting up here to where everything is at. Oops. My elbow snagged some stuff because bagginess in my coat sleeve, shirt sleeve, and all this. So, getting over to the well project, which is potentially the biggest, most pressing project. The rugs there are because I went in here on a rainy day, or after a rainy day. The ground was snotty and I needed the rugs for traction. This has got tire tracks on it. But over here, see how much different it looks. There was a well house there. Now I'm digging that out for a new well house, which will be the same size as those panels, 8.5 by 8.5, but with insulation. Yes, I scored some good insulation from a friend of mine that didn't want it anymore. It's a bunch of old garage door pieces. It's not perfect insulation. It's got gaps in it and stuff, but I can use it. I can definitely make good use of it and some other insulation panels. In theory, I have enough now between all of them to get the whole interior. I also scored some effectively what I would say like new wire. Yes, it got a little crinkle in it. I don't know how much it is, and it's not heavy gauge, but it's good wire as long as you don't put it in a wrong application. I mean, yeah, goats could beat it to pieces, but it would make a good rooftop or something. And it's 5 feet or 6 feet or whatever. I got a truck bed, which I will probably do later on. Yes, right now it's holding clean rocks and gravel. Later on, though, I'll probably use it for a little rooflet, which is what it was last used for. Somebody had it the other way around, made a little shelter for the goats. And I always need more roof area. So it'll probably go down where Mr. O'Malley is, so that that area can be covered and kept dry and made more useful for the babies. Give it that much more area under cover in that corner. Again, this right here is being prepped. It'll have a new slab, but it's going to have the new slab over the old slab. The old slab will be leveled up with a jack and used as a form because of the fact I want to keep that hollow spot under there as a service route for plumbing going outwards from there. So the walls will be, the footing will be solid all the way around 3 sides, north, west, and east, but on the south there'll be a portal to run plumbing out of for various plumbing purposes heading out. Plus there is, of course, the lines in the middle go into the house. They're diagonal down there, so they're going to remain where they're at. Heading out this direction. By the way, the gentian hasn't started growing yet, so there's nothing to report on that right at the moment. It hasn't changed. Now, I did want to remark that since we've had a massive decline in our population, we're getting a significant extension in the life of how much hay we're able to use, so that's helping economically. Coming down here, we're not just swarmed with daffodils and stuff yet, but we are starting to get the hyacinths coming out. They're about to bloom. And down off there, some daffodils are popping out. Again, they're around. They'll start to really populate soon. This is probably going to be a month or more before any irises pop up. I see some iris daffodils over there too. They're just going to be up all over the place here pretty soon. The loveliness of spring is that it does do that. The peach does not appear to be eager right at the moment to open up. There is a little, actually, I correct myself, it's just starting to open up just a little bit. The leaves are opening on it. The lilies over here that the deer like to eat are starting to come out. Unfortunately, though, the deer will try to eat them. Now we get back into free treasures and goodies. If you look right in front of me, there's a camper shell, minus the tin. Well, it was a whole beat up camper shell. I just took all the beat up tin off of it. And that'll probably be a canopy that I mount right here on the front of the shop at some point with some clean canvas, waterproofed, and I'll put it up on top of the shop so a person can walk in there and not get rained on by the runoff off the roof. These 2 pieces of window glass came out of it, as did that glass right there, and those frames all came off of it, and a whole bunch of screws, hundreds of screws. That aluminum came off of it. Those broken pieces of smoked Lexan or whatever that is. And wherever the wind blew it to. Yeah, it's blowing it way down there. That piece of aluminum came off of it. So I got the whole thing. It's just all beat up, and I took it apart for the parts that would work the way they are. Over here, I got yet another old failed refrigerator that is apparently no longer working. So that adds. I got this hide-a-bed frame, and my goal for it is, if I can get it mounted up, is I'm going to make a small implement hoist lift mechanism. I'll probably put plywood or something in there, and I'll make it where it's a fold down lift table that mounts against the wall that I can use to elevate with some cables or something that I can elevate. You lower it down to the ground, put a, whether it's a quad runner or a lawnmower or something on it, and then lift it up to a height that I can work on and have it adjustable. Over here, or some wind or something's been blowing pretty firmly and blowing some of my small loose stuff around. I should strip the magnets off those and throw them away, because I never use them. There's the door from that refrigerator, or both the doors. I got an old cooker that's just mostly sheet metal. Well, either the wind was blowing or not, but I got all this aluminum here, which I plan on making go-karts out of, and I got this piece of steel that I'll use to make the ROP for sunshine, along with, of course, the steel that I've got. I don't know why I never thought of it before. Oh, by the way, that sheet metal right there on the ground and up there is also from that. And some scrap sheet metal over here that you'd never tell from the pile. But I've decided that what I want to do is I want to take some of this steel right here, and I had other plans for it, but now I think I'm just going to use it, create a frame, a rollover protection system for my track loader. I'm mainly just going to go ahead and use all this steel, and then that square tube I was just pointing at over there that's made of steel, and any other steel I need, and I'm going to make myself a cab so that I can A, not get hit by falling trees, B, if the thing rolls over, I'm protected from that, and C, gives me a place to put a warm cab in it with Lexan windows and some kind of roof over it. And that's actually the only thing I did do inside. It's not much of anything. I might as well mention it since, oh yeah, this stuff also came with an old another air conditioner that had in water chiller, and a bread maker, and a water pump, and some other things. I got some wheel hubs and a little battery, just, more metal, like literally just more metal. There was some wind blowing through here, knocked a lot of things, stuff through. We had like up to 40, 45 mile an hour wind through here a couple days ago, just around the time of the last rain, give or take, actually during but after the rain mostly. By the way, a lot of that steel there will probably also go into the track loader at some point. It's not super heavy steel, a lot of it, it's just big enough to be a safety for me. As long as, it wouldn't, it'd look pretty bad by the time it got all beat up, but it wouldn't let me get crushed anyhow. The only other thing I really did was I put this plywood down here to make it safer so I don't fall in that hole and injure myself. That's pretty much everything. And because it is, and I don't particularly care to make a long Sabbath report, I'm going to end that now, and we'll see you all next Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.